appreciate you being willing to hop on here with me, man.
Oh, of course. Never a problem. Sorry, it took me a while to get this going.
No, you're all good, man. I know that you're a very busy guy. I mean, you literally own a gym, you have a coaching business, you're a competitor yourself. You have a lot of things going on your plate, which is why I was so interested in getting you on here, man. I really admire a lot of what you do. I admire like what you built and kind of seeing the Armstrong empire like just completely essentially take over a lot of like Indiana's top shows. So it's really awesome what you have going on, brother.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I love what I get to do. It's crazy. I got to pinch myself all the time that like this is the life I live.
Right, right. And it's pretty awesome to see like from not only a competitor standpoint, but also like as I'm starting my coaching journey and kind of getting to see like what you do with your guys and what you do with even your female competitors. Like you have a lot of great experience and a lot of like really high-end competitors and a lot of talent, man. I mean, just to put it there point blank. So with that said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen and kind of let you kind of give us a little bit of knowledge about you and how you got into bodybuilding really in the first place, man.
How I got into bodybuilding.
That's a layered question.
Yeah, well, we all started working out in the beginning just from like a little bit of an insecurity or wanting to get a little better. So I decided I wanted to do a bodybuilding show at a pretty young age. And I actually met Cliff Wilson, who I work with now, back when I was like 19 out of Classics. And wasn't really working with the type of client that I was at the moment, and we never
Mhm.
clicked. And then I started working with one of my buddies, my very first show on the left, yeah, the NPC Winter Classic. So that's the Indie Pro. And what's fun is I'm about to do for this year the Indie Pro again for the first show, and my wife's gonna do it with me. So we'll have like a
Oh, that's sick.
5 year re-return to the Indie Pro. Man, that was a good look. My quads were striated that year.
Yeah, they were,
Uh
dude. That's
that shit
crazy.
hurt. My very first show ever actually got canceled due to COVID. So on the
Oh
left,
wow.
that was my second prep. It never made it to stage, but I was 5 weeks out to that show the year prior. And
Dang
then
COVID.
went through my very first ever rebound, like without a coach, kind of out of my garage during COVID on like an old shitty Bowflex, like eating Culvers. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, I feel fantastic. So,
That's
but
great,
yeah,
man. Eating
so I
Culver's,
decided I
just
wanted to do a
enjoying
show,
it.
and a guy I went to high school with had done a couple events, physique classes before, and he was like, "Let me put you on stage." We try to do the first show, it gets canceled. We come back the second year, we try and do it again. A couple weeks out, I just like anybody else start second guessing him, and I fire my boy 4 weeks
Mhm.
out. Probably shouldn't have done that. Because he had me pre-shredded, and I hired Dusty Hanshaw. You know Dusty
I do
online?
know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love them from Think Bodybuilding podcast.
Yeah, man, the gladiators, nice.
Yeah.
Uh, I haven't went back and looked at my Instagram in a while. I don't post anywhere near as much as I used to. I need to get back on that. So I hired Dusty online 4 weeks out, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to do this." And then I sent him pictures, and I was shredded. He was like, "All right, I'll peek you." So I don't know if you remember, but years ago he almost died. He like had like a he tore his esophagus. He was eating a piece of
Mhm.
steak and he tore his esophagus and it put him into a coma. So I do my show on Saturday. Sunday morning, I wake up. Dusty's not answering me. He doesn't answer me for like 3 months. I don't know that this happens at the time. So there's Matt. So my
Yeah.
second show, or my first show that I did, the Indie Pro, Matt
Mhm.
Kuba, his guys, Seth Parks and Nathan Epler, do that show as well. I'm down there by myself. I have no idea what's going on. I have no coach. It's just my wife and I. And I walk up to basically the promoter and I'm like, what do I do? And they're helping me. And I notice Seth wins the overall of the NPC half. And then Epler does his pro debut at that same show and takes second. And Matt
Yeah.
Kuba's running the show here for these guys. And I was like, I immediately need to see what's going on here. And then
Yeah.
Epler took second in 212 like the next week, like the next Saturday, and I hired Matt that Sunday. And I was like, that's the end of that.
Yeah. Right.
And so then that was actually the same year. So the picture on the left was in the
Mhm.
spring. That was my very first show. That was in May. That was working with the other guy. And
Yep.
then I did the Gladiator in November. I was a light heavy. I was 194 on the left, my first show. And then in November, the same year, I came back about 14 pounds heavier. I was 212
Jeez
there in the
Louise.
middle. I moved up to a heavyweight and I did the Gladiator and I took
Yeah.
second. And then I actually on the right, like a month later after that, I went up to Michigan
Hmm.
and there were 12 heavyweights in that one call out. Massive call out. It was huge.
Yeah.
And that was the leanest I had ever been. And I won't lie, I thought I won the overall.
Hmm.
And I've never, it was my first time I realized that like I was kind of doing decent here. I had random people all day coming up to me after prejudging, telling me
Yep.
I won, I won, I won, I won. They moved me around. I was all through the center, all over the place. And man, they call us back for the top five. And we walk over, they call me for top five, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going dead center. I've never won a class before. I get like hyped up from people that don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they call fifth, and I'm like, woo. They call fourth, and I'm like,
Yeah.
woo.
Yeah. Do the soft
And
claps, right?
and nobody walks out for fourth place. And I like look down and they say the number again. I look down and they gave me fourth. And
Oh
I
man.
was like, oh man, I was
Oh
pissed.
yeah, I can imagine.
Just absolutely shocked. So that was my third show of the year. Matt had started taking over at that point. That was our second season.
Hmm.
And then at the Gladiator photo,
This guy
uh
right here.
the one before,
Oh, the one before.
yeah, the red one.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, so I met Matt Cornick, the promoter of the Winter Classic, at this show at weigh-ins, and he was like, "Hey, I'm doing a show next year in 13 months called the Winter Classic. It's the first time it's ever been happened."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Dang, I'll see you in 13 months and I'm going to win your overall." And he laughed and he was like, "Yeah, sure. Okay." And sure as shit, I made that my third show of the year and I won it.
Yeah, I remember seeing you backstage at that show. That was the first time I kind of got to see you firsthand, and I was like, man, this guy, these you were on like nails, man. Like you were conditioned, you were big, you were just confident in the look. You knew going in that you had that show won, and that's something that only one of the highest level competitors that going up to go to be the big stage. You don't fear nobody. You don't have any sort of fear going up there, and that's exactly what you did, man. And it was pretty crazy to see backstage, but seeing all the photos and everything is pretty wild look, man. And
That
is
that
this
one
the last show
hurt.
that you did right here?
No,
This
no, this was a couple years ago. I won't lie. So my life kind of changed at this point. So
hmm.
between the Gladiator and this was 4 weeks, and I quit my job 2 weeks before this show.
Wow.
So up until this point, I was a union operator. I worked in the steel mills, and I sprayed refractory in the basic oxygen furnace. It was a 3,000 degree furnace, man. It hurt
Oh
every
yeah.
day, and I
Right.
was working 16-hour shifts. And I started my coaching stuff, and I had made so my very first time I ever put somebody on stage was that Red Gladiator. If you go
Hmm.
back down a little bit,
Where was it?
this same year.
This year? Is this the Red Gladiator there or further down?
Oh, a little bit farther down, sorry.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that show. But oh,
This one?
yeah, yeah. So that season was my first time ever coaching anybody. So I kind of started or second season kind of quickly.
Yeah.
And I put three guys on stage for free. And I did everybody for free, and they all did pretty decent. Dom, Todd, and Jonah.
Dom's been with you for a good while now, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah. Dom was my very first ever client.
I remember him in 2022 at the American Classic. Did he compete that show too?
He did. I've
Yeah,
been in an
yeah.
overall with Dom twice, in an overall call out with Dom twice. That's a great feeling.
I can imagine from a coaching standpoint, without a doubt, man. That's
So I
pretty
put my
cool.
guys on stage with me. This is the year prior to the Winter Classic winning,
Hmm.
and I do this their whole prep for free. I do three whole entire preps for free because I'm like I don't know what's going on here. Let's do this together. I'm just gonna give this a shot, and they end up doing really well. And I wake up the next morning on Sunday and I shoot them a text and I'm like, hey guys, I need $50 a month to keep going. I have to turn
Hmm.
this into something. And two of them told me to get fucked. And Dom is still with me and Dom still pays me $50 a month.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
So at that point, it kind of snowballed, and then I picked up about 10 or 20 people. So then the next Gladiator, the next year hit. I hit it 2 years in a row. I
Right.
actually did it 3 years in a row, and I kept missing. Yeah, there's Dom and Jonah, and
Yep.
then Phil, my boy Phil. That So yeah, that was the first year, and so then by the time the Winter Classic hit, I was making maybe like 2 or 3 grand online, and I was
Wow.
like, you know what, I have to commit, I have to go all in. So I walked away from my union job
Hmm.
and quit before I knew Rare Breed was a thing. I did not open Rare Breed. Rare Breed is not mine.
Really?
Was not mine.
Was not yours.
Correction.
Right.
Was
Right.
not mine. So I quit my union job to do online coaching 2 weeks before the Winter Classic and went undefeated that year with an overall. And then the very next week after the Winter Classic, I flew down to Tampa and I actually did my debut as a super heavy. And I won super heavies in front of Steve Weinberger and beat 7 dudes as super heavy.
That's crazy.
That was a wild
That's
time.
crazy to
So
be
that was right when I quit my job and I launched into online coaching.
online coaching essentially. So
And
where in between, or go ahead, go ahead.
it was not much money. I did not know how I was going to figure that out. I won't lie.
Right.
We were struggling. So
So,
my wife and I were going to move to Phoenix.
yeah.
And then the guy on the left in this video, his name's Alan. I worked with
Hmm.
him in the mill. I hated him. If he tracks us down, I don't care. We're not on good terms. I absolutely
Yeah.
hated this fucking guy. And the
Gotcha.
day I met him, so I started in the mill the year I graduated high school in 2014. The
Yep.
day I came home, the day I started, I met Alan and I came home and I told Reagan, I said, I met this dude. I don't like him.
Hmm.
I quit in 2022. That video is dated 2023. So 9 years
Right.
later, he calls me and he's like, hey man, I'm putting this gym together. I want you to come be the trainer. And I was like, no. And I hung up.
Yep.
And then a couple of weeks went by and he called me again. He called me again. He called me again. They wouldn't leave me alone. And they were like, we want you to run the social media for this gym. The
Yeah.
tall guy, the other guy, he was a manager of an Anytime Fitness. Yeah. And this is the first day I ever really saw Rare Breed. This is what it
Yeah.
looked like. They had ordered the equipment, they had painted everything. And they were like, we want you to come in and run the marketing and like we'll give you a membership. And like you, and then they made me a hell of a deal, man. They said you can keep 100% of whatever you make from personal training.
Hmm.
And
That's pretty that's a a decent starting point for sure for somebody that was going into that gym setting, and
yeah,
to
yeah.
think it started there to where it is now is pretty incredible, in the sense of like the development from going from the trainer where like, hey, you keep 100% of the money, to now you're the sole owner of Rare Breed Fitness. Like that's pretty remarkable.
It's been rowdy. It's been wild.
I can
So we spend
imagine.
like 2 or 3 months kind of setting up like the equipment. We kind of build everything. We help them a good amount.
Hmm.
And yeah, I start promoting for them about a month or two in.
Yep.
And the first day shows up and I have people standing outside the door ready to sign up. They don't know how to take people's money.
Right.
They never set up the POS system. Like they had no idea. So the very
How
first month, like we had to turn people away. They weren't
Yeah,
ready.
yeah, they weren't even ready for the financial aspect of things. That's
Yeah. And I was like, guys, what are you doing? They never pre-sold anything. They never did anything. They never made a dollar. They didn't make a dollar until like their third day of opening.
that's
And they had
wild.
spent probably about a $500,000. Like
Yeah.
gym equipment is expensive. The
Oh,
bathroom build
crazy
out.
expensive. Yeah.
It was not a cheap facility. And so the first month went by and they made like $800 and I cleared a couple grand in personal training. And I was
Hmm.
like, hey, I don't think this is going to work. And they were like, this is fine. And then the second month went by and they made like $800. They were selling $50 memberships or
Hmm.
like $45 access memberships. And we had
Yep.
like 10 or 20 members. There was nobody in there. And I was doing maybe like 5 to 10 personal training sessions a week.
Yep.
And at one point, I actually offered, so like their door, like the door access didn't work. There was multiple things that we did that were crucial points to Rare Breed opening, like the 24/7 door access wasn't set up. So
Can't
we
even get
set
it.
this up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And so at one point, I actually offered them a couple $1,000s to buy like 1% of Rare Breed because I was so sick of everyone asking me if I was an owner and I hated saying no.
yeah.
So I was like, can I give you guys like 3 or 5 grand and you give me like 2 or 3% of the gym and now I can say I'm an owner? And they turned me down. They told me no.
Initially they told you no.
Yup, they turned me down. I've never
That's
told this
crazy.
story before, like other than to people I've never said it
Yeah,
online. Only people locally know.
that's
So the
crazy.
second month goes by, and Reagan and I'm very big, my wife and I, we're very big on manifesting and just like
Hmm.
creating what you're gonna get out of life.
Yeah.
Just gonna go get it. I'm gonna bite off more than I can chew, and I'm gonna go get it.
Right.
So one day we're driving into Rare Breed, like it's like a Saturday, and I'm like, man, I don't know where this is going. Like I still kind of wanted to move to Phoenix. Like, what's going on here? Just kind of
Right.
second guessing what's going on. And I'm like, wouldn't it be crazy if like somehow we just ended up owning this one day? And we were kind of talking about that. And not like 20 minutes later, Alan, the guy that I didn't like, that it was like the guy that I knew, called me and was like, hey, Justin wants out. He's going to give you his 50%, like essentially for free, but you got to take on some of the debt and the responsibilities. I need your help making this place work.
Wow.
And I was like, all right. So I spent $4 transferring the LLC from his name into my name online, and I took over, you know, half of 15 or 18 thousand dollars a month worth of debt, and we were only
Right.
making maybe 2 or 3 grand. Big
Man.
mess, big
Yeah. Yeah.
big mess,
Huge mess that you're stepping into, man.
massively
You
red.
manifested the mess, but it's a big mess to be taken over, right?
Don't ask for something you're not ready for.
Right.
Woo! So that
Man.
was an absolute shit show. And then
Yeah.
at that point, him and I just started to deal like this on a disagreement of where the gym needed to make money. So we're about 5,000 square feet. I
Hmm.
started doing numbers and I was like, dude, we need like 600 or 700 members. It's not enough square footage. We can never do this.
Yeah.
So I realized that the money was in personal training, and I actually found a mentor company and was like, dude, I need to hire this mentor company. I see what bodybuilding coaching does for me. I couldn't imagine what business coaching does for me.
Hmm.
And he's like, no, we'll be fine. And we argued about that for probably a year. And eventually we just got to the point to where the funding kind of ran out and there wasn't a whole lot left. And him and I came up with an agreement. I alleviated him of his debt. Reagan and I took over the first of the year. The day I spent almost 100 grand paying off the debt for him. That decreased my expenses. I hired Cliff as my bodybuilding coach and hired a business mentor all the same day.
Wow.
We signed all the paperwork. I did everything the same day. That was last April. And I was like, this is either going to burn me to the ground or this is going to build something that's really going to be worth something. And
Yeah.
it's definitely building into something.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Man, I hate the dog too. So we're no longer red. I've gotten rid of the dog. We're no longer the same even business. At this point, I don't even sell access members. We're a personal training facility. I'm not a good gym. I went through a big issue where I couldn't get my local bodybuilder guys to even sign up for membership. And because like our equipment's okay, but my value is in my training.
Yeah. Right.
So I eventually had to flip the script, and now we're now we painted everything gray and some neutral colors, and we do all like custom one-on-one personal training. This is now my office.
This is now your office here.
Yeah, I had to take it. The boys were not happy.
I can imagine. Is this one of your clients here, right?
Yeah, Dr. Ian, he competed last year. He did the Phoenix, and then we showed up just kind of for fun. He did the Pittsburgh Natural Pro last year, and we watched Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford battle in person
Oh, that's sick.
backstage. I was like, let's do this as just a chess move.
Yeah.
And he bought an entry, and I bought a coach's pass, and it came with entry. And we got to go backstage, and I was like
Oh, that's
3 feet
sick.
away from Nick and Derek talking shit to each other. Like when they got rejudged at finals, then me and Ian were standing there watching it happen.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty
Ian's transformation was crazy. He came to me, actually go back to him.
yeah, do you think I can go to his page? He got something there.
Yeah, he may have something. He doesn't work with me anymore. But
Let's see if he has any sort of here's the Natural Indiana. It was
yeah, yeah.
2025.
That was his second show. Here, exit back out.
Yep.
It's just below.
Right
Yeah.
here.
Nah, keep going down. Click on the before and after.
So that's this guy right here, yeah.
Down,
Man,
yeah,
that's
there we
pretty
go.
crazy. That's pretty crazy. Look at that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
that was
that's solely from this is whenever you took over essentially and started
yeah,
working
that
with
was a
them.
little over, what's it say, 60 weeks? Yeah, about 60 weeks.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
He was 100% natural too. He did all that just on strong will. He did and like tested shows.
That's sick, man.
Ian had a
Yeah.
really good work ethic. He runs a physical therapy business up by me. He's very good. He saved my wife's back actually. She was supposed to have spine surgery.
Oh wow.
Ian was a good one. His look here, dude, finals
This is
didn't
pretty
end up
great.
happening until like midnight. He was so watery at this point.
Oh, is this finals here?
Yeah, they did the video, but it was so late because it was the pro show first.
Yeah,
So I
right.
think he went on at literally like 10:30 or 11 p.m. that day. It was so late. There was
No,
no
that's
one
so
left.
late. That's
It was
crazy.
so hard. I remember standing backstage and him watching his peak just melt away and
Yeah.
him looking at me in desperation of like, how do we fix this? And I was like, brother, I don't know.
You're like, I don't know what we do here. I mean,
We're
that's
deep
like,
here, yeah. Oh, these are at
yeah,
AMF. Oh, Dylan won double overall last year, Mr. Natural Indiana Classic and Open.
nice. That's sick. Yeah, you had some really good showings here with your clients, man. It goes to show that your coaching really took off. Got a few other
I know
competitors here, I
Shannon, that
see.
was a good one. We won a lot that year. I'm going back and doing this year again. You gonna be there?
I'm actually trying to get one of my clients to go to that show next. Is November one or June?
This is
Which
the June, and we always do both.
you do both? I'll see you in June. I have a classic guy competing in June.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
he's Isaac. He's coming along pretty well. What are we now? We 10 or we're
Oh, that
11
that
weeks?
show I think is 11, 10 or 11 weeks.
Yeah, 11 weeks now. So yeah, he's coming along really well.
I'll
But
have four down there. That'll be a good time. I got a girl and three guys.
nice. I only have one guy, but I have a girl competing in the Indiana Muscle down south. And
I saw her a figure girl, right?
yep, figure. Yep. She's coming along really well. Fallon's she's killing it. But so yeah, so essentially you
God,
took
yeah.
over, made this
Rare
so
Breed used to be so ugly. I hate the red. It didn't work. The issue was they tried to sell to a bunch of mill guys, and I'm located in an area that's a bunch of moms and gated communities. I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed. We're in a high income area,
yeah,
so we pushed intensely personal training. So at this point, Rare Breed, when I took over, I hired the mentor, and now I have a front desk girl named Naomi. I just hired a new trainer named Val. I have Steve. Steve's been crushing it for about a year now.
nice.
Reagan works there full time with me, and then on Monday I'm starting another new girl. She's going to do some cleaning, and she actually was a manager at any time. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, so she has experience too then.
yeah, yeah, it's growing fast. We've done more this quarter than I did in 6 months last year. I'm like two and a half times.
Yeah,
We've been growing quickly. Yeah, this is Val. This is my new trainer. She was a college athlete. She played like soccer and softball up until recently.
really cool.
She's actually going to do the November show, Jesse's November show.
Oh, nice. I might see you there. I'm still trying to get one of them to commit to the show, but yeah, man, this is pretty awesome what you built. And now that you've really have the following, you have a good base here. You have it looks like you have a great team. Because this
Yeah,
is yeah,
they
this is
are.
recent. Yeah, this is your team here. So it's really awesome to see what you've built with Rare Breed and what it takes to open a gym like that. Kind of giving me a peek behind the scenes. I greatly appreciate that. I'm sure the viewers will too, because as gym goers, we all kind of want to think that we can maybe open a gym one day, but none of us know the aspects that go into it.
Woo!
You know the aspects that
Man,
go into it,
it's
man. So,
it's been probably 7 times harder than I thought it was going to
oh
be.
man.
Like I gave up bodybuilding. Last year I did USA's and I got absolutely smoked.
Hmm.
I got my worst place ever up until this point was that fourth place in Michigan. After that, I went 3 for 3 undefeated, won an overall, and then I took
Yeah.
second at junior nationals. So worst I
Yeah.
ever placed was fourth. We go out to USA's. My peak is iffy.
Hmm.
Junior nationals we do. I'm like 230. I'm like bursting full, barely make heavyweights. Man, it's my first peak out of Rare Breed, like my first actual show, like owning the place. And I
Hmm.
got beat by some dude that works at day job. Chris looked great. It's not to play anything down on him, but
Of course, right.
I was pushing really hard for you'll have to go a bit. I was
Further
pushing
down.
pretty hard for there
Is
we
this
go.
that's junior nats here, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I was
This is your
about like
second place. This is your second place here. Man, this is a good look.
yeah, I should have been a little tighter here. We probably spilled like maybe like 2 or 3 pounds. It was the fullest I'd ever been on stage. I had never been that big before. I felt fantastic. And
Yeah,
I
you
got out
look great.
conditioned. And I was probably like 229, 230 here. So the judges were like, come back absolutely shredded. Like, you need to
Hmm.
be a little leaner. I got out conditioned by a guy. And normally I've always been the conditioning guy and I always get outsized. I've never been out conditioned before. It's almost always an outsize thing.
It's always an outsize, right?
So of course the judges are never happy.
Is
So
this guy that was like peeled to the bone, it looks like?
yeah, that's who beat me, Chris.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the dude on the right was actually the super heavy. He was a 3 man call out.
Wow.
And then he was like 260. He looked way bigger backstage. And then I saw these photos and I was like, what the hell? I
That's funny.
always like feel like I always get that I'm way bigger on stage or I'm way bigger in person. I don't try to like post crazy angles
Yeah.
online. I just kind of like snap it and go.
Snap it, keep going, right? Keep
Yeah,
moving.
so like I remember watching some of these dudes online. I'm really bad about going and finding them. I know we all know we shouldn't. But I
Yeah.
remember seeing the dude on the right and being like, this dude's absolutely massive. And then I saw these pictures and I was like, what was he doing?
Yeah, right. And whether it's posing or whether it's just like the size isn't there as much as it shows on Insta, whatever it might be, you know.
Bad peak, yeah. But so junior nationals was real good. Yeah, that was
That's
right outside
wicked.
like the day before. That was a good look. I was very full. We didn't really mess a lot with water. We played a bunch with salt. No
Hmm.
real diuretics or anything. It's kind of mild. I've had way crazier peaks before.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is shredded, man. I mean, you got crazy veins, striations, like you are peeled.
That was okay. That was one of my least conditioning. The Winter Classic at the Gladiators. The Winter Classic's
Winter
been the
Classic was
leanest I've ever
wicked.
been.
Seeing that in person, I will say, was pretty wicked. So
That show hurt. That was yeah, that was the year I quit my job. I had everything to prove there. So yeah,
yeah.
this was 2 years ago now. So after this, we went and did USA's, and I
Hmm.
came back about 14 pounds lighter. I dropped from 230 down to like 214. Oh, my boy Rocco, I love Rocco. Rocco's gonna win his pro card this year. He took second. We both took the best second places at that show.
Heck
But
yeah, this
he's
guy here.
been oh, you gotta follow Rocco. Yeah, he's a men's physique
I'll go
guy.
follow you.
He's fucking thick. Oh, excuse me. He is thick.
Oh, you cuss. It don't matter. That's crazy though. I mean, he
Yeah,
trains
that's the
heavy.
day.
He's
And
a
you
men's
say
physique. He's
yeah,
men's.
he's a men's physique guy, dude. He's massive. He's stronger than I am, and he's like 220 now. But like
145.
he's been out lifting me at like 180 pounds. He's a cop out in Illinois.
Dude, this is
He's
crazy.
so Rocco and I met. He works with Koopa, so him and Seth and Epler and all them. That's how I met him. He's maybe
Wow.
about an hour from me.
Gotcha. Okay, I see.
But yeah, so
Yeah, he's
he's been knocking on his pro card door. He's been taking second, third for the last year or two. It's coming to him soon.
oh yeah,
So
he's
him and
gonna
I
be.
went and did USA's together, and I dropped all the way down to like like 212 or 214,
Hmm.
right before we went to Muscle Beach. And it wasn't that good
USA's.
of a look. And I took 11th. I took 11th out of 13th. It just wasn't there. You can see the look. I don't know what happened. It just kind of
It's not over. I mean, obviously, the conditioning you probably. I mean, compared it to other looks, yes, it's a little soft, but it's really not like a bad look by any means. Like a bad look. Like guy on the far right, like he's clearly needs a little bit more condition. I think guy over here. I mean, you're
this
pretty
this
far
was
ahead
second
conditioning
call
wise
outs.
in the
This was
second
for
call
like
outs.
dead last. Yeah, this was
You're
it was
fair.
an all right look. I wasn't too proud of it, but this was where I knew I had to let off the gas. So after this,
Mhm.
I rebounded from 211 to 260 in like a month because I was that underfed and still
Wow.
had good lines. And then the silliest shit happened, and I messed my finger up. And as silly as it sounds, I had to wear this giant brace on my hand. I tore a ligament across the top of my finger, and
Hmm.
it bent. I got what's called mallet finger, and I couldn't hold it straight. So I had to
Mm.
keep it slinged up the whole time. So I kind of just gave up on training. I let go of
Yeah.
Matt and I focused on the gym. We made the gym go green and profitable. And then back in the spring, I finally started getting back into it. What's unfortunate is I don't think that I'm back as big as I was on my USA's rebound yet. I got to get some of that size back. I'm almost there.
For
This was the
sure.
day before. I should have stepped on stage like this. Rocco and I went to
Yeah.
this gym out in LA. The show was
This is
Saturday.
crazy.
This was Friday about 4 p.m. This was
Oh man.
it shows how close you got to be.
You
And
have
what
to be
I've learned, and I
precise,
talked
right?
with Matt and like Epler and some of these other big dudes, the bigger you get, the harder it is to peak
Oh
because
yeah.
you burn through it like that. Like that's a
Hmm.
20-minute look. I remember
Yeah.
walking into that gym looking horrible. I
Yeah.
post fasted, looked horrible, did a half a workout, looked like that. And then by the time we left, it faded again.
Wow. Yeah, and it goes to show like it peaks everything and what you're putting in your body and all that. That goes a long way.
Ooh, click
Uh
on the one with me in the green trunks.
Green Trunks, where are you at?
Just up, yeah, right there. So this is Tampa.
Right
This
here.
was
Yep.
super heavies. This was in front of Steve Weinberger. This was the week after the Winter Classic. I jumped up to super heavies,
Hmm.
and this was my favorite, my coolest look ever. That was a great show.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Do you have any stage shots from this one?
Yeah, you'd have to go down a little more.
Hmm.
This was a throwback.
Let's see if I can find it here. Here's the Winter Classic. That's just probably a throwback Thursday. Let's see if I can find Winter Classic. Here we go. Yeah, man, that's a good look.
That was very full. I wasn't as
Yeah.
tight,
You can tell
but
you aren't as tight, but the fullness is crazy
I
here.
felt bursting full on stage there.
Yeah.
What
I
was
mean, the
crazy is
lats, the
so
waist, the quad sweep, all of it, right?
I go to weigh-ins and I tell Matt, I'm like, hey man, let's jump up and do super heavies. Look at the click on the rear devil
Where's that at? Sorry, I'm kind of
up
blocking
on
it.
stage, like in the call outs.
Oh, call here
Yeah,
we
there
go.
you go. Yeah, yeah. The hamstrings, I looked better from the back than the front in that show only. I've never looked like that before, where
That's
like the front
crazy.
started to lose, but the back was nice and crisp. And
Right.
so the guy all the way on the left in the blue trunks.
Hmm.
So I go to make weight and I keep my sweats on and I step on the scale and the top for heavyweights is 225. And I step on the scale and it says 225 and a half. And the guy is like, oh, heavyweights, 225. You don't have to take your sweats off. I'll just round you down. And I was like, no, no, no. Put me up into super heavies. I want to run with the big boys. Like I have glutes at 225. I want to give it a shot.
Right.
And he's like, all right, man, it's your funeral. And the dude all the way on the left, covered up backstage, you can't tell what anyone looks like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you look big, typically you're out of shape, out of condition. The
Hmm.
dude steps on the scale behind me, 261.
Oh
And I
man.
immediately was like, what have I done?
You're like, what am I doing?
So I
That's
remember
crazy.
standing backstage for prejudging, standing next to all these guys, and they were all 3 times my size, but
But
not
the condition,
conditioned.
no, not
This was the
condition,
least
especially, yeah.
confident I've ever gotten on stage other than USA's. And then they put me right in the middle. I got off stage and I looked at Reagan and I was like, how bad did I get smoked? Because like their
Yeah.
upper bodies backstage, they looked so big.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I think you got this one in the bag.
Right. And I mean, you could tell by the conditioning here. The closest conditioning, in my opinion, is this guy. I mean, this guy's got tattoos kind of all over, so it's really hard to tell. But even this conditioning doesn't compare to yours. Like your conditioning
The
is
dude on the
by far.
left. So I asked the guy on the left at finals if he has an Instagram because at this point I just quit my job about a month ago. I'm trying to network. I'm down in Tampa. I
Yeah.
made a little bit of money. We stayed in Airbnb for a bit, and I asked this guy if he has an Instagram so I can follow him, and
Yeah.
he goes, and I was like, oh no, that's the noise I make when people ask me if I have an Instagram. And actually, here, go back out or see if I don't think he commented. Hey, that dude's name is Dave Lieberman, and his wife, or not Dave Lieberman, Dave Lieberman's that Ohio guy. Dave something. Man, now I'm not gonna be able to think of it. Dang.
He's not tagged in it, is he?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
Maybe
maybe.
if you click on it.
Let me click the little tag. It's just Chauncey Fitness.
Oh,
That's
just Chauncey Fitness. No, that's
yeah.
the promoter. Anyway, that dude said his wife was like Miss CrossFit one year, and I found their page, and him and his wife had like millions of followers.
Oh my
And I was like,
gosh.
dang, dude, he was like mad I didn't know who he was. I kind of felt bad.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, whenever we're talking about, you could have all the followers in the world, kind of goes to show as well with the bodybuilding. Like, you have all the followers in the world, the biggest outreach. Like, it's not everything, especially if you're not in crazy condition or if you know how to pose. Because, I mean, some of these shots, the posing isn't super
His
great.
posing hurt him. He was so nice
Yeah.
to me at prejudging, and then once we all saw the pictures, we got back to finals. He didn't say 2 words to me. I was
You
like,
did.
man, you ain't got to be like that.
Yeah,
Like, come
yeah.
on,
Come
dude.
on, you can talk to me now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny, man. No, that's a crazy look.
Oh, we met Hulk Hogan that night. Go over.
Yeah, this guy, yeah, I was about to ask you about this.
Yes.
Hell
So
yeah.
the Chanceys, like Mel Chancey is out of Illinois. So I do the shows with the Illinois people, and they're like, I know the promoter in Florida. Let me know when you tell them you're going down there. We get down there. The Chanceys and Hulk Hogan are best friends. And
Oh,
they're
that's
like, we're
cool.
doing an after party at Hogan's Hangout tonight. Come on by. It's like 30 minutes outside of Tampa out in Clearwater out on the water.
Right.
So we walk in, and I see this dude sitting at the bar that kind of looks like him. So we go
Yeah.
upstairs. I find the promoter. We come back downstairs, and I'm like, dude, is that him or one of these like impersonator guys? And they're like, no, that's him. Do you want to meet him? So they walk over, and he introduces me. I tried to get him to take a shot with me, and he was like, hell no, brother. He
Oh my
said he gave
God.
up drinking. But so he looks
Oh
at my
my
face, and
gosh.
obviously I have the spray tan, and he's like, did you just compete? And I told him I did. I told him I won super heavies, and he's
Yeah.
like, let me see your rear double. And I was like,
Like
okay.
there in the restaurant?
Yeah, they're like the
That's
moment before we
crazy.
take this picture. So I take my phone and the picture you just pulled up of me hitting the rear double, I show
Yeah.
him that photo and he zooms in. Yeah, that one right in the middle.
Yeah, this
He
one. Yep.
zooms on this photo, really, really, really close, all the way to my ass. And he goes, "See right here, brother, you got the glute strings." He's like, "That's how I know that you win." Like, and like it went on. And I was like, Hulk
I
Hogan is
love
literally
it,
staring at
dude.
my ass right now.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Like,
That's such a cool story, dude.
so that was a wild night. And then 10 minutes later, I watched him grab 2 blonde girls and walk down the street. And they said he lived like a mile up the beach house. So
Yeah.
he got lucky that night. We all won.
Yeah, everybody wins, man. Everybody wins. What a wild
Bodybuilding
experience.
has brought me so much that I never knew. So when I wanted, we kind of go back. I know we've already gotten way off topic. I'm
No,
horrible about
no, like
this.
you're kind of like going down the story here, which is pretty sick. Like you quit the job before the NPC Gladiator, you win that. You go out to Cali, do the or yeah, California, do that show. When you meet Hulk Hogan and like he's there
That was a
introduced.
great time.
Like that is such a wild like trajectory. And then coming home to Rare Breed Fitness. Like it's just such a wild trend of events here. That is pretty cool to like it's just cool to kind of hear and kind of get to know the story a little bit here, man.
And so
So
what I want to definitely like touch on here though
yeah.
is out of all of the success has been so much pain,
Hmm.
so much suffering, so many nights, so many questioning of like, is this worth it? What am I doing? Like can't tell you how many times I got up at 3 a.m. to do my cardio for an hour to go work a 16-hour shift in front of a 3,000-degree furnace with no reason why, other than because I knew there was something more for me there. Like, I remember my very first show, I wasn't going to compete or like anymore. I was like, I'm no quitter, but at like 3 weeks out, I was like, this isn't for me. Like, I can't do this. I can't handle this.
Mm,
So we saw it through, and I got off stage, and I came around to my wife, and we got a couple steps away, and I almost broke down, and I was like, I don't know what it is, but like I belong here. I have to do this again.
mm,
And she agreed, and it's been amazing ever since. And it's just one of those like again, I kind of spoke about the universe before. You
yeah,
never know where something is going to take you. And I think right now, a lot of people just want that instant gratification.
yeah,
And I can't tell you how many times in life I've done something for free for somebody. I
mm,
have bent over backwards and gotten burned and lost out more times than I can count. But because I go over here and do things for other people, I get paid over here. It's
yeah,
not a 1-to-1 ratio. A lot of
no,
people lately have been talking about, like, well, why would I do that if it doesn't pay me? And you know what? I never knew how bodybuilding could pay me. I never thought that, like, when I was 17, doing an extra set of curls when nobody was watching, how did that turn into this?
right,
And it just like anyone that's looking for like some motivation and like how to try and get where I am 3 5 years ago. I thought I was stuck at a dead end job and there was nothing left in the world. And I was like, you know what, my plan B can still be someone else's plan A. And I literally risked every single thing I had. I
yeah,
can't tell you how many times. There's been multiple times my bank account was negative 5, 10, $20,000 and I've had to claw myself out of that hole.
mm,
But every down brings the highest of highs, and you never know like where it's
yeah,
going to take you. So if you're looking for a reason to keep pushing, man, it just keep going. One more rep, one more minute. Like,
mm,
it's always worth it. The only thing that hurts more than like the pain of that is watching somebody else's hand get raised or watching somebody else get what you wanted.
yeah, right. Someone else get what you were working so hard for, and not knowing if that work, if what they did all the work as well, or if what you were doing
Yeah, and
didn't
sometimes people are
amount.
going to work less than you and get more than you. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
the
just
world is
life.
unfair like that.
That's life.
Unfortunately, I was talking with somebody earlier today about like a show, and sometimes I've won shows that I didn't give it my all, and sometimes I've lost shows that I gave it my everything. And I'll
Hmm,
tell you what, it almost hurts more to win a show and know that deep down you weren't at your best than
hmm,
it does to lose, but know you gave it your everything.
right.
Like that's
That's
that's a really deep one. I've done 10 shows at this point. Kicking this season off, I'll do show number 11.
right. That's a
And
lot of experience. And especially coming from a guy like myself, I've only done 4 shows. A couple of the guys on the cast have only done so many. I know you know Matt. Matt's done multiple shows. I think he's up there. Yeah,
Matt's
he's
got
got like,
years of experience on
mhm.
me even. I met Matt at my very first show ever. It was probably like his 10th show then, let's be real. That dude's put 100 something pounds on, I feel like.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a
Let's
really good
give a
competitor
second
all
for
around.
Matt.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Matt's a real G, man.
He
But
came
yeah,
up to
even
Rivita maybe a couple months ago. He got a
yeah.
session in there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, like I said, I've been kind of watching the page and stuff like that, and whenever I started the podcast, you were definitely one of the guests that I wanted to get on here to talk to you about just what your journey has looked like, because I don't know much about you outside of what I've seen backstage, and then what we've kind of talked from like coach to coach a little bit at my first coaching experience. So like you've even given me a little bit of advice and a little bit of like, hey, like this is what you need to look for as like a coach in the backstage of the NPC Natural Indiana, you know. So like it goes a long way. And like you said, even giving a little bit of advice to those that essentially giving the advice to those that are new to this experience and new to this world, you know, of bodybuilding and of coaching and everything. Like it goes a long way in the sense of it's repaying for you, and whether the universe does it immediately or does it down the road or does it years from now, it doesn't make a difference. It will find its way back. And I personally just have a lot of gratitude to you for being willing to share your experiences with me, man. Like it goes a long way. So I appreciate it a lot. So now going into, we talked about rare breed, we kind of touched on your bodybuilding past. What does the future look like for Tyler Armstrong? What does the future look like for you? You said you're starting your prep for your 11th show. Where are
Yeah, I
you?
need to get my shit back together on my bodybuilding. I won't lie. I'm prepping my wife for her first show ever, and man, I got a problem on my hands.
Yeah.
She's crushing it.
I didn't know this was her first show ever. She's not done a
Yeah,
show
she's
before?
never competed before, and
Wow.
she's absolutely silly shredded. If you go click on her. She uploaded some check-ins this morning. Click on her story.
Her story here.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
Yeah.
is this morning.
That's crazy.
She's gonna do the indie show with me. So we're 13 weeks out and she's gonna do
13, she's
figure
looking
as
like
her.
this.
Yeah.
That's
She's 13
crazy.
weeks out. She's never competed before. That's how she's looking.
There are more here. On
She got a little bit of a high day now, but if you exit out, there's other shots from the other day. I
Gotcha.
know she
Man, that's a
posted them. She's
crazy.
posting check-ins and I'm not.
Yeah, she's posting the check-ins. Man, that's crazy.
Oh,
She's diced at 13, man. Like
yeah.
that's a wild look. Where's this
She's the
just some training
last.
here?
She's down 15 pounds this month. It just started working. Like
That's
it's been
crazy.
a crazy thing. You know what the wildest thing is? We couldn't communicate. We
Hmm.
couldn't get a program going. I had her hire me as a coach. She goes through my program, like my business. Like she sends her own check-ins, and like I just respond to her as if she's a stranger. It's
Right.
good to go.
Yep.
We got to the point to where like I was thinking about hiring her somebody so that it would start working. And I was like, no, we're just gonna end up. I thought she posted another set. Maybe it was on her story, but
Maybe you said her story, maybe?
I think they disappeared. But yeah, I mean, you
Gotcha.
can see her quads in that other one. But yeah, she's never competed before. That was the day
That's
we took over Rare Breed. That was a
that's
good day.
crazy that she's never competed before. You really would assume that she
She's
has.
leaner than I am. She's gonna win, and I'm not. I'm gonna look real stupid with my second place when she's
But
holding an overall.
let's say
I've
hold the
seen how
gold
this
medal,
goes.
man.
Guys will compete for years, and then they finally get their wife on stage, and they'll coach them to a pro card their first year, and then the girl never competes again. Man, I already know how this year's gonna go.
Yeah, right. You already got it down pat. You already
Yeah.
know.
So that leg press is 200 pounds by itself. That's about 600 pounds. She's crushing it.
That's
She's
crazy.
extremely strong.
Yeah.
But
That's
she's been doing this for
she's diced. Yeah, dude, you're not lying. It's 13 weeks to be that type of condition is pretty wild.
this
Yeah.
was like a 5 year prep. She's been living the lifestyle for a while, yeah.
Hmm. That's pretty
So I need
crazy.
to get back to where I am because everybody else is on their shit. This is just the other day down at AMF. I was looking
Yeah.
a little flat here, but
Big though.
ah, I gotta lose some weight. Cliff's been grinding me, man. My macros got cut again this week. I'm down to
You gotta love it though, man. That's what it's all about. And I see I remember this show, this is where I had my fit model athlete. This is where we were
yeah,
chatting
yeah.
backstage.
Logan and Tyler.
Yeah. Had some good guys competing here as well, man.
Logan, that was Logan's first show ever, too. The guy on the left. That was actually both of their first shows.
Wow.
Oh, the
And
guy on the
Logan
left
looked,
made weight. Yeah, Logan. He made weight for like 3 hours. He was a lightweight.
yeah, this is a great look for him.
He's gonna do the indie show with me too. So Reagan, myself, and Logan are gonna compete in indie. He
Awesome.
came to the dark side.
Yeah, did he?
And so he was about 167, 169 here. He's
Yep.
sitting about 190, 195 right now, similar conditioning.
It's gonna be a different bodybuilder, dude. It's easily that
Yeah, it's
he's eating
different,
himself,
man.
man. That's crazy. That's
We started
crazy.
pushing the day after. I was like, I know the plan here.
I
So
know the game here. That's awesome, brother. It's
yeah,
really
he's
cool that
I've
you
done
have your
that with a
athletes
couple
here.
guys. I always make them, compete first, and this is on your own. You know what you're getting into.
Yep.
I didn't wait until after I competed. I did it before I competed, which I feel it's very important that you need to get at least one show under your belt before you
Hmm.
even go into that world because you need to have everything else accounted for.
Yeah.
I
And make sure
regret
you want to
not
do it
waiting.
too, you know. That's a big thing. Make sure that you want
Yeah,
to continue to competing. After your first show, sometimes people are like, all right, that wasn't for me, you know, and I've seen multiple people trying to drop out of it. So,
I've had a lot of one and done type of people. Or like
yeah.
maybe for the season. It's
Yep.
unfortunate. We talk about this a lot because you hire us as a coach to make you your best, and along the line, I'm gonna break you.
Yeah.
About the 1 to 3 week out mark, I'm gonna break your soul.
Oh yeah. Right.
And half the time it ends up just kind of going where they like grow to resent you. And then
Hmm.
I hate it when people like we end up like after the end of the show and then we go separate ways and then we never talk again.
Yeah.
Because at one point you as a coach, you understand, man, you do that show with them. You're the
Oh
only
yeah.
other person other than that client on stage that knows what they went through.
Yeah,
And everybody
exactly.
that I ever put on stage, and like if we don't talk anymore, no, I still think about you.
Yeah.
I still love you. We
Yeah.
did that
Yeah.
together. Like
Right,
we could
right.
like
And that's
no
something to
one else knows
experience.
what you went through other than your coach. Sometimes you need to give them a little more gratitude and credit
Most definitely.
after you get off stage because they put a lot into these people.
They do.
And I hate when they get like mad at prep, so they get mad at you. I think
Yeah.
that's where I'm trying to go with that. Like they grow
Yep.
this internal resentment towards the process,
Yep.
and it ends up overlaying onto you. I hate when that happens. That's my least favorite part of coaching
Most definitely.
is when
Yeah.
you have to like break somebody and they like, I
Get
don't
to
want
the
to say
point
get
where
their
now, yeah, now they don't want to talk to you anymore because they hate the whole prep scenario, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
tough because as a coach, like you're like, hey man, like we did it, like whether you got to win or not, like the fact of the matter is like we brought your best package to date, like this is awesome, like congratulations, and they're like, yeah, that's great, like I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks, and then you might never talk to them in a couple of weeks, you might never see them, or if they might stick with you for a little bit of reverse diet, and then they decide like, oh, it really wasn't for me, I'll be back, we'll see, but it's just you never know, unfortunately, with the one and dones, like you're saying.
Yeah, and
So,
like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because if you don't break them, they don't show up in proper conditioning, and now you look out of place. Like my thing
yep,
is always like, okay, we're going to be competitive, and we're going to
yep.
look like we belong.
Oh yeah,
You're going,
yeah.
God, you're going to turn the right way when he says quarter turn to the right. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah. Every little detail counts though, and it's not only do you want to bring them at their best because you care about that person, you want them to perform and execute at the highest level, but you also have a coaching reputation to represent as well, and you don't want that person to not go up there and represent the hard work that that they went through. They did the morning cardio. They did the dieting. They did everything, and you'd hate for that to fall on yourself as a coach, but also for them to have that poor of an experience. So like that's all comes back to a full circle of like it's really a team effort when it comes to all this, everyone's got to work together. So
100%. That's actually why I got into coaching in the beginning. When I first started helping people, I thought I was crazy. I was out of my mind because I was like, I don't know a whole lot. And Matt Cooper was really nice about helping me with my self confidence, and
mhm.
he kept telling me like, just because you don't know, like none of us know everything. And he
Yeah,
was like, you just have to look at it for levels. And if they're asking for help, you're obviously above them and you have some form of value to give them.
yep.
Don't think about what you don't know. Just think about what you can help them
What you do
with.
know, yeah.
And so I remember in the very beginning, after I landed maybe like two, three, five clients, I started talking to like my peers, and
Hmm.
they were telling me what all their coaches are doing. Matt Cuba was a amazing coach. Matt taught me so much. Matt built my career. I owe everything I have to Matt.
Hmm.
And we're still on good terms. But he taught me like how to value myself and how to add value to others instead of just
Yep,
like taking the clients himself. And I could have just given him referrals, which I
yep.
have mad respect for because he was always like, dude, there's plenty of slices of the pie. There's
Oh
always
yeah.
someone to help. Let me help you get your career off the ground. He helped me do that to an extent. And
It's pretty awesome that you had somebody in your corner like that, though, too, especially like building that confidence off the rip. And Tyler Benson, in a way, was that for me. I mean, I started charging similar to you, like $50 a month, because that was just like, I didn't know what I was completely stepping into. Like, I have the little bit of experience I do from my 4 shows and my 4 preps with Brad and my bodybuilding experience and just listening to podcasts, kind of hearing different things here and there. And over the years, you try different things, you see what works, what doesn't. And I feel like also with every prep comes a learning experience, not only for the client, but for a coach too, without a doubt.
we
And
mean
that's,
learn more than they do. They
yeah,
don't. They don't
without a
know what's
doubt.
going on.
Yeah, we learned so much, man. And like that's something that like I'm really happy with Fallon, especially this prep. Sorry, we got the doggo in the back
No,
here.
hi, Bobby.
She's a sweetheart. But yeah, that's something with Fallon's prep this time around. Like I've learned like where we got to push conditioning a little bit more. And Maddie was a different story. She was fit model. But still, you want to perform and you want to make sure that it's all going in the right direction. I think we're doing that. But that's just part of it, learning experience all around. So,
It's
but
so
yeah, man.
exciting. It's so cool to help somebody become the best version of themselves, like to watch them actually improve. And my favorite part is to like watch somebody get their health in order.
Yeah,
And then I'm very big when I coach on what's going on outside of bodybuilding. What are your other 22 hours? Let's talk about your personal life.
yeah.
And it's so amazing to always watch who the person becomes throughout a prep. I
Hmm.
sign somebody up, I have it in my welcome to the team PDF. I have this is really fucking hard. You've never experienced anything like this, and you will come out of this a different person.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "Oh, just
You'll
hold
see.
on,
Yeah, you'll see.
you'll see."
Right, right. I love it, man. It sounds like I said, it sounds like you're building something very special there with Rare Breed Fitness and your coaching. I wish nothing but the best for you and Reagan's prep here, and I'm excited to come see you guys, man. I'm hopefully going to get out to that show and be able to see you guys personally firsthand. So hopefully you'll be bringing home another overall, baby.
Man, I got to get some size back on. I got to get to work.
Easy work, baby. Easy work. As you know, man,
Yeah.
just put the head down and do it, man. And hopefully one of these days, hopefully Matt and I can both come down. I'd love to train at Rare Breed and kind of come check out what you guys have down there. And heck, man, maybe you put me through one of your workouts because I've seen what you do
Oh,
with your athletes, man. Like it looks like a lot of fun. So
I
uh,
love it. I love it. We can do that or when I come down. So when I come down for June, for the
yeah.
indie show, I'll be at AMF like 2 o'clock that Friday.
Okay. Oh yeah.
That's our meeting point. I made everybody meet me down at AMF. We do a whole
Mhm.
little team thing. So
Oh sweet.
bring your
Yeah.
girls. It's down the street from the venue. Let's meet up there.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I'm down for that. We'll chat through Instagram and stuff. But
Yeah.
again, man, if you made it to this part of the video, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Go follow Tyler and Rare Breed Fitness, and watch him flourish, man. I'm excited for your season. Excited to watch what Rare Breed continues to do. And if you have any plugs that you want to give here as well, please feel free to hop in and let me know, man.
Hmm. Honestly, just want to give like a shout out to anyone that ever trusted me and has become one of my clients, whether it was a paid client or a free client. All of you have helped me like stack where I am. Every person I help helps me tier to the next step. It's not about dollars that you're making. It's about how many lives you can affect and how many
So,
people
brother,
that you can help. And if anyone's ever reached out to me for help and you feel that I added value to you, I just have you to thank for where I am. So that's how
that's
we'll
awesome.
leave that.
That's a beautiful message, man. And it goes to show the character that you are, man. Like I admire everything you do, brother. And it's awesome to see you continue to crush it. And I'm wishing nothing but the best for you, man. I'm excited to see you here in a couple months, baby.
Yes, let's go get some overalls.
Yes, sir. You got it, baby. All right. Thank you again. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, keep working, boys.
See you.
See you, brother. Thanks for hopping on again, man, for your time.